I'm in the middle of building a custom Firebird guitar, and having got the bulk of the neck carved last time, this time I'll turn my attention to the transitions at the headstock and the heel. Okay, so in the last episode we got the centre section of this neck roughed out. That's all pretty good now, it's not far off finished. So this time I'm going to concentrate on getting the two transitions, so the heel and the headstock transitions done, which will be pretty much the last of the big jobs to do on this build. From here on in, we've basically got a pick guard to build and some prep and finish work to do. So to get started, I'm going to set this up in the neck holding jig and start on the headstock transition, because if I'm honest, that really is my favourite bit. Okay, so the main task that I'm going to perform here is just getting this volute cleaned up. I've already got the kind of back face to it there, which we did with the oscillating sander. So now it's just a case of working this material away, and I'm mainly going to be using a spoon gouge for that. I might use another couple of chisels, and I'll also be using some Irosaka carving files for this, just to kind of clean things up once we've finished with the chisel. I've marked in the curve that I want to carve to, and all I've done basically is I've marked a curve on a folded piece of paper, unfolded it, and then lined that up with my centre lines on the fold, and that will give me kind of a very rough idea of where I'm carving to. So I'll start to rough this out with the chisel and we'll see where we get to. Okay, so that's most of the volute roughed out, so now it's just a case of taking one of these carving files and blending it all in with the lines that we created when we carved the rest of the neck. Okay, so there's the volute sorted out. I'm really happy with that. It's only rough sanded, so there's a lot more work to do on that, but I actually really like the way that that looks. The way that the curves interact with the lines in the neck, just beautiful. So next up is to get the other end of the neck sorted out and get this transition into the body done. And I've done a little bit of work already, so I've marked this out, and I've measured, I think it was 459 mil from the end of the body along the centre line to this point here, and I've marked that off. And then I've made a kind of little paper template off the drawing. None of this is like structurally critical, it's all about aesthetics, but I'm just going to kind of line that up with my centre lines and then just pencil in where we need to be cutting to. And this will be exactly the same trick. I'm going to start with the spoon gouge and start to work my way down, kind of cut out this shape that we've just penciled in, start to scoop that down, and then just remove the rest of the material and blend it all in. Once I get a certain way into this, I'll be able to use a straight edge just to make sure that I'm not kind of flaring out too much at this end. Ideally, you want this to continue straight on all the axes, just so you've got a nice, comfortable, playable neck. But before I do anything, however, I'm just going to square a line down along these points. And there it is, all done. I've rubbed that down to about 150 grit, and it's nice and smooth, and I'm really happy with the shaping, really feels nice. But I'm not going to go any further with that. I'll wait until I'm doing the final finishing on this before I do that. But all in all, I'm really happy with the way that that's gone. It looks really nice. And I just think the laminations in the wood look really good. And if I just give it a quick wipe with a bit of a damp cloth, you can perhaps see that's going to look stunning with some finish on it. So I'm really, really happy with the way that's come out. So as I said earlier, this is kind of one of the last major jobs that we got to do on the build. The other one is to get the pick guard sorted out, but I'm going to tackle that next time. So I'll leave this episode here. I'll be back in a couple of days when we'll get that pick guard underway. But until then, like if you've liked, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.